Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Grantham CPT YouTube channel. Tonight I've got planned a very long route from London Heathrow as the initial starting point. We're heading on a flight to Brussels in Belgium, and then from Brussels we're going to have a short break and then resume our trip to Innsbruck, Austria. So it's going to be a long flight. I'm expecting this to be at least three plus hours, possibly more, depending on what happens. And I'm hoping to use Vatsim as well. So I'm going to connect to the Vatsim before. Well, I just started outside because I wanted to start somewhere different to begin with. And we can see the Ryanair 737, of course, here and ready to be entered. I just started outside because I could show you the exterior, because it looks quite good in the sun as well. And of course the engines there just sort of spooling over ever so slightly. But yeah, generally it looks very nice on the outside. It looks very polished and sheen. The jetway is of course connected. Co-pilot's in the cockpit for us. He's not actually doing anything because we'll have to do it all from scratch. Yeah, just a quick walk around. See, the underside there is quite clean considering how how dirty it's been in the past. Seems to accumulate dirt. Of course, the back, the rear end, and the tail. We are parked at London Heathrow, and seems to be like the main base for British Airways. So there's non-stop British Airways aircraft. Got a series of Airbus here as well, parked next to us. Not sure which one it is. Probably like an A320 or something. You'll have to tell me. And of course, got Virgin Atlantic over there. 747 classic. Don't see many KLM livery 747s anymore though. So yeah, you see there's the jetway. We're gonna hop in and get things started. I have downloaded my flight plan today from SimBrief, so I'm hoping that's going to work as well. If we can try and import it successfully to the aircraft. Just want to get my Vatsim connection up and running. Can't actually say anything until you've got your radios on, and even then they don't hear you unless you press the push to talk button, so fairly good. In the Boeing 737-800. Now when you connect, there may be a drop in your personal performance on your computer, or there may be a drop elsewhere, because I've adjusted some of the settings. Since we're such a heavy airport, object dense airport, it makes sense to reduce some of them as well, just to ease computer burden, or at least improve the FPS as much as possible. So I'm just double checking the call sign. Flight number and call sign is the same for some reason. Oh well, the call sign is Ryanair 027 today from London Heathrow. Let's go ahead and start up the aircraft. We haven't really got any controllers in range at Heathrow. That's a shame. I'm sure we can get clearance from someone. So let's go ahead and stick all the buttons on. So stick the battery on. I'll show you the overhead panel view. The battery's on. Of course, the generator for the APU. Okay, the APU's fired up pretty well. That's decent. I get the of course the IRS line, so we'll click them to a line as usual, and then once white, switch them to navigation. Fairly simple process. Okay, let's get the APU power on. That might help. Okay, there's a line, so switch that to nav, and we'll just let them sort of wait to the IRS's light. About 8 minutes there, on the right and the left side, respectively. APU power is now on. Stick a fuel pump on. We do need to refuel actually. Let's do that before we run out. We've already got quite a lot in. That's surprising. We got like considerable, almost 8,000 kilos. So flight plan has given me a 6,000, well 5.4, so 5,400 kilos of fuel is the requirement. This is saying we got like 8,000 kilos on board, so we're actually already fueled up in excess of what we need, so that's good. So we might not have to refuel when we get to Belgium, Brussels airport. Now we have got 184 passengers expected. Make sure we have the correct configuration so we can put the passengers in. Okay, fuel, so 184. We have got a lot of weight on board. We got a lot of cargo as well. We have 21,000 kilograms on the cargo there. Let me just double check on the flight plan. It has said 21,000. Welcome in, by the way. We're in the 737-800 Ryanair livery. Payload 21,000. Can't enter that in. Can't enter it in. So we'll do the cargo weights. Right, that's my mistake. Hang on a second. Mixing the whole thing up. So cargo weight 6,400, payload 21,000. Okay. 6,400. Already getting ahead of myself. 6,400 on that. And then fuel, so we don't need any fuel, we're already fueled up. Let's well, we'll put the flight plan fuel in anyway and just say 5.4. We don't need to call the fuel truck because we've already got the fuel on board. For some reason it's disconnected the jetway. I don't know why it does that, but hopefully the passengers can get on board now. Let's stick the seatbelt signs and things on so people can start boarding as soon as possible. Extend the stairs since they're not coming through the jetway, and double check the weight and balance. So refueling is taking place. There's Shell Energy, and of course we have the vegan food truck there turning up. EGLL that's just departed. We should have a look around the airport. Currently parked at stand 520 London Heathrow. So we've got a aircraft to the left of us. Many planes, many British Airways, and some other brands that I'm not sure about. There's one there that says EGLL on it. I've never heard of that. Possibly a custom airline. He seems to be taxiing openly onto the runway, so I'm assuming that there's no ATC to control him. That's got to be permitted, I suppose, if you're on the Unicom. I'm departing from runway 09 right today, so I think that's just, I've deliberately parked myself deliberately close to the runway so we can taxi the shortest distance possible. Right, let's get back to the checklist. So we're still waiting for the IRS. Everything's refueling, cleaning. Once that's done, the I believe the passengers start loading up. Really hope they will start loading up as well. Remove those stairs and see if it'll do it for the jetway. Okay, let's stick the yaw damper on early. Let's stick the window heat on. It's not as warm here in England as it is somewhere else. You know, Bahamas for example. And we'll do some tests on the alarms and things. On APU bleed air on, of course. And radios. We should be tuning to, depending on what the frequency is, because no one's on Vatsim. There's no ATIS on. Oh, there is an ATIS actually for London Heathrow Airport, and there is a ground now, so that's good. So it's giving us an ATIS there, 128.080. Give that
70 PDC available. Data link clearances are available. Surface wind 060 degrees 13 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. No clouds detected. Temperature +20. Dew point +4. QNH 1017 hectopascals. Pilots are reminded that data link clearances are not available for Compton departures. Acknowledge receipt of information Bravo and advise aircraft type and series on first contact with Heathrow.
Okay, standard information there. Just
This
telling
is
us what we
Heathrow
have
Airport
to,
information Bravo at time
information we need.
1620 Zulu. Automatic. Arrival runway 09 left. Departure runway 09 right. Transition level. Flight level 70. PDC available. Data link clearances are available. Surface wind 060 degrees 13 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. No clouds detected. Temperature +20. Dew point +4. QNH 1017 hectopascals.
Okay, so
Pilots are
the
reminded that data link clearances are not available for Compton departures. Acknowledge receipt of information Bravo and advise aircraft type and series on first contact with Heathrow. This is Heathrow Airport information Bravo at time 1620.
okay, so they actually took some fuel from us. That's interesting. Yeah, regarding the fuel, we're pretty much done on that. I think passengers should start loading up on their own. Just listening to the ATIS answer, it's given us 1017. The flight plan of SimBrief does actually do the same thing. It gives you the pressure hectopascals for the area. Just trying to get the aircraft sorted at the moment. So test all the lights. Everything is recalled correctly. Store warnings are working. Okay, passengers boarding. Let's just double check outside, see if we can see. So no one at the front, just at the rear. I wish they would sort that out for the loading. Jetway's right there. Okay, so I'm going to tune the tower now, just to make it slightly easier on departure. So we've got our ATIS. I'll tune the ground onto the open frequency.
17 hectopascals. Pilots are reminded that data link clearances are not available for Compton departures. Acknowledge receipt of...
Okay, we tuned into ground. Got information, Bravo. We could probably request our clearance from London Heathrow. Okay, the IRS is aligned. What we do is we'll program it first and then we'll call for clearance. So we're going from 09 right. Debts, 1 Juliet departure. Let's just initialize the position. Verify airport and things. Echo Golf Lima Lima. And was it 520 the gate? I believe it was 520. Route. Now Brussels Airport is Echo Bravo Bravo Romeo EBBR. I just realised I downloaded it, so we can go. Apparently we can click on something here to upload the flight plan. Apparently you got to click on company route, so let's try to do that. Flight plans. There it is. I believe that's the one we downloaded, so let's load that in somehow. We got it copied. Okay, so far so good. If I put that there, that's going to bring up hopefully the correct so let's put the flight number in first. 027. And let's activate and see if that's done it. Okay, so it seems that it has. I think I've just successfully imported the flight plan, so that's brilliant. And it's come up with the 1 Juliet departure.
Good evening, Chapel 30 vacated Alpha 8.
Direct, and then Q70, KOK, and then we want the KOK 8 Alpha arrival. Just turn that, check the volume for you guys, I don't want it too loud. That's super easy, that's super effective if you want to upload flight plans. I didn't realise it was that easy to do. The flight plan's now in there for our route, so we don't have to do it all manually, we just have to do the performance calculations. Of course, we wait for people to get loaded up first. 32%, so they always take a while to get there.
Good day, Eurowings 8 Juliet Mike requesting clearance to Frankfurt filed with information Bravo on board.
Eurowings 8 Juliet Mike report stand.
We're at stand 223, 8 Juliet Mike.
Okay, some people on the radio there. So important to call the stand number.
7501.
We're cleared to Frankfurt, Delink 1 Juliet departure and squawk is 7501, 8 Juliet Mike.
So it seems they're just having a listen to the ATC. We can call for ours in a second. It's quite loud at the moment, let me try and fix that. But yeah, same departure I think for them as well. It's reassuring. And the cruise altitude, I haven't checked. 23,000 feet.
We have a Boeing 737-800NG with information Bravo on board question Alpha across to Toronto, please.
Echo the 859 cleared Toronto, Altiv 1 Juliet departure, squawk 4777.
Roger that, cleared to Toronto via the Altiv 1 Juliet departure, squawk 4777.
Cost index is 30. That radio is too loud, let me know if there's any audio in the game that's too loud or too quiet. Always give me some feedback.
Eurowings 8 Juliet Mike requesting push and start.
Yes, you two find us welcome in as well. It's going to be a long flight, plenty of breaks.
Eurowings 8 Juliet Mike.
Okay, let's just do this. I'm being distracted by the radio. 5.4. I think we'll have to wait till the passenger's loaded to do it. We can go ahead and get our call on, I think. Just about. Listen to the 80s one more time.
This is Heathrow Airport information Bravo at time 1620 Zulu. Automatic. Arrival runway 09 left. Departure runway 09 right. Transition level. Flight level 70. PDC available. Data link clearances are available. Surface wind 060 degrees 13 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. No clouds detected. Temperature +20. Dew point +4. QNH 1017 hectopascals. Pilots are reminded that data link clearances are not available for Compton departures. Acknowledge receipt of information Bravo and advise aircraft type and series on first contact with Heathrow.
Good evening, London Heathrow ground. This is Ryanair 027 parked at gate 520 with information Bravo, ready to copy IFAR to Belgium, Brussels Airport.
027 cleared Brussels, Detling 1 Juliet departure, squawk 7673.
Cleared to Brussels via the Det 1 Juliet departure, squawk 7673, Ryanair 027.
Ryanair 027, I'll be back correct to QNH 1017.
QNH 1017, 027. Okay, so I wasn't sure to call that at the end there, but we got our squawk code there and the pressure has been confirmed for us. Cleared to Brussels via the Det 1 Juliet departure. No change there on the altitude, so I'm assuming we're cleared up to 23,000 feet as well. Let's go ahead and check the flight plan and make sure we've got everything appearing correctly on it. So usually we click on leg, you can click step. Okay, so we do need to put our approach in there. So let's go ahead and do that now. So 07 left is our arrival. Okay, so it's not coming up with ILS 07 left. Could potentially be an issue. 07 left. We have VDM. We need the 8 alpha. So my information, the computer information, may be slightly out of date. That might be why it's not finding it. Click 7 alpha anyway. Let's check for any brakes. You can see that ground weight's changing, so apparently our estimated takeoff weight is 67.9 tons. It's quite a lot. Zero fuel weight, 62.7. We've already done the rest of it.
Juliet Micro requesting taxi.
Earrings, Juliet Mike, taxi Bravo, hold oyster.
Taxi Bravo, hold oyster, you're ring St. Juliet Mike.
I suppose now it's just a case of waiting for the passengers. Like I say, it takes forever. Good thing we got started early. We may be on departure just in time. I estimate about 6 o'clock for departure from gate. So we may get there just on time. Just double checking all the systems, make sure they're all on. Of course, that's changed now up there. That's changed to the information that we need. So it even gives you the wind, heading, and the light. What we can do now, though, actually, while we wait for the oh no, just about loaded. But while we do that, while we wait, we can always change the MCP, the main control panel there, for the autopilot. A nice cruise up to 23,000. The flight directors can actually come on. We'll wait till we do the right now. The passengers are loaded. The jetway connects. Very strange. Whilst the stairs are connected. Let's toggle that off.
Alright, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
And track those after we've opened the door again. Real pain, I have to say, real pain. If you're looking forward to this flight, we're almost just about ready to depart. Okay, retract, and then we can close the doors. Back to the MCP, so we want to do the weight and things, so we can recalculate the weight. Okay, 5.75 trim. You can do it using your mouse, or you can do it using your controller. It's about 139 there for V1, and then 141 for VR.
Earrings, Juliet, my contact director, 119.730, have a good day.
Lateral navigation engaged, and we'll engage vertical navigation as well. You have programmed straight up to 23,000. we can put the actually if we put the runway wind in, we can recalculate as well. So runway wind is apparently 06013, so we do that 06013. So you see it's delayed the takeoff speed, so we just need to recalculate. So it's not changed, still 139. Okay, I think we're ready to depart. Let's just plan our so he's no doubt going to ask us to push back there, and then we could depart out. And I know that because that's a dead end at the run.
Round to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
So we'll be pushed out, we'll be told to face east. Let's go ahead and do that now. Ryanair 027 parked at stand 520, ready for push and start.
Speed correction, Ryanair 027 stand 520, push start through, face west.
That's strange. He's asked us to face push and start approved, face west, Ryanair 027. Okay, so my mistake. We can get out that way. There's a tiny little gap there in the taxiway that I couldn't see. Oh well. A little bit late on the call back, but we can do that. Let's go ahead and clear what we've already given.
Round to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready. Driving up.
Okay, we still got our beacon lights on. We're actually ready to depart now. We're actually on time for once. Half an hour into the into the start of the stream, we're actually going to depart on time. Fantastic. Well, this is the best part, I think, of the aircraft simulation experience, is when you get the realism effects there. They push back, you got the radio. You know, it all comes together and it makes it just fantastic. It really does. I'm still a huge fan of the 737, even after all these years. No doubt I'm going to fly this for many more hours. As you can see, though, the beacons there have come on. We're in the Irish tail number.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Okay, we'll reconnect. We're not going to look outside the aircraft now until we arrive back into Belgium, Brussels. Brussels in Belgium, sorry. Go ahead and stick the fuel pumps on. We can actually start up now. Flight controls, of course. You see that left engine spooling up. Go ahead and open the fuel introduction lever. Fuel's going to be pouring into the engine.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, parking brake release.
Push back.
Let's just double check our departure, make sure we've actually got the right departure. Det 1 Juliet departure. Okay, so we're all sorted. Rejected takeoff brake set. So left engine started with no issues.
Emirates 009 is fully ready for push and start.
Emirates 009, stand 5906, the push start through, face south.
Facing south, Emirates 009.
And introduction of fuel. We've got to squawk, we're going to squawk now. So 76 73. Thank goodness I remembered. We're going to stick it on, but we won't stick it to takeoff mode just yet.
Heathrow ground today, speedboat 161 on Alpha, request taxi to the gate.
Oxygen on the left, and oxygen on the right. Fantastic. Taxi lights on.
Alpha, hold short Yankee, expect stand 527, speedbird 161.
Cabin's quite warm, it's about 20 degrees. So we've done the engines, we can stick the isolation to auto.
Operation complete.
Packs on.
Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Maybe you bleed air off. Oh, switch it to the engine first. Oh no. Whew. My goodness, all the time I've flown the aircraft and I still make that mistake. Don't forget to switch to the engine generators before you shut down the APU. Blimey. Alright, we're ready to disconnect. It's been an auto throttle reset. Let's go ahead and turn that back on. It's 139, wasn't it? For the V1. And we're just going to check the map.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed.
I know where we'll be taking off 09 right, so we'll be taking off here. He may take, so he's going to tell us to taxi to this point. I don't know what that's actually called on the map. Have a look outside and see if we can see the name of the taxiway. Whatever that taxiway is there. Very difficult to see. I think that's Tango, so you'll say taxi Tango to runway 009 right. Let's go ahead and get back in the cockpit. Ryanair 027 ready to taxi.
Ryanair 027, taxi Yankee, hold handling.
Taxi Yankee, hold Hanley, Ryanair 027. Okay, so you're saying Yankee.
Ryanair 027, contact director 119 decimal 730.
Contact director 119.730, Ryanair 027, good day. Okay, so we've given us another frequency. We're going to go ahead and tune that in before taxiing. So 119.730. Okay, let's go ahead and taxi. So he's given us a Yankee and then Yankee and then Hanley. I'm not sure where that is. I don't have the charts. I'll have to contact them and ask. I'm assuming that Hanley is prior to the runway. So there's Yankee. Okay, cabin secured, ready for takeoff. We've got taxi lights. Yep, taxi lights.
Nothing further, afraid, monitor Unicom 122 decimal 8. 212
Ah, there's Hanley. So Hanley, Yankee, that's good. Decent.
121 decimal 905.
121 905.
We're gonna get close to the little hold.
7 left turn 250 degrees.
Left 250, speedbird 817.
Let's hold there. You're not on a hold on the road there. Ryanair 027, holding short, Hanley Yankee.
Ryanair 027, thank you. Continue on Yankee, hold short November Bravo 11.
Continue down Yankee and hold at November 11, Ryanair 027. Blimey. I tell you, playing on this on Vatsim, it does cause considerable amount more stress trying to remember all the names of the taxiways and runways and whatever else it is. Yeah, November 11 right there. Still fun though, very good. I'd really wanted to play with somebody on multiplayer. I really highly recommend if you can get a shared cockpit experience to do it. Obviously the ATC and the other planes online make it more realistic. I'm not sure how to turn the IDs off, but in general it just makes it peak. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a
027 runway 09 right, clear for takeoff, surface wind 080 degrees, 14 knots.
Ryanair 027, gonna hold short November 11 for the meantime, just not quite ready yet.
Okay, roger, report fully ready.
Welcome. Okay, so Tower there's a bit keen to kick us out of London Heathrow, that's no problem. We're not quite ready to depart yet, we need to do a few more checks. Okay, so we're gonna stop here and we're gonna do the takeoff chat list. We're gonna do it properly, so chat lists. Takeoff. So we want correct, yep. 09 right.
1726 miles,
Strobe lights.
descent altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1017.
4,1017, speed 817.
All the lights on, we can turn the taxi lights off. I'm going to keep the runway turn off lights off as well. Transponder, we need to like take off an RE. Fixed landing lights, thrust levers.
Director, good day,
take off go around switch.
Taxi and Holland Point handling.
Okay, we're ready to depart. Just a few more checks there that you're doing. Of course, ignition to continuous.
Continue taxi, Yankee, Holland Road, Barbara 11, speed 300.
Ryanair 027, ready for departure.
Ryanair 027, thanks, 09 right, clear for takeoff, surface wind 080 degrees, 14 knots.
080 degrees, 14 knots, clear for takeoff, 09 right, Ryanair 027. Okay, so that was a much better call back there for the clear for takeoff. Let's get back onto the runway, onto a runway and get into the air. Not bad on departure, we've done really well on the start up to get out of Heathrow on time, especially considering how busy it is.
So 256, 26 miles, 09 left, descent altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1017.
We've got a plane behind us, a British Airways A320 I believe that is, or something. Of course we're on the Ryanair 737, looking very nice. So we taxi for takeoff.
So 300 behind the departing Ryanair 737, line up 09 right behind.
Okay, so thrust lever to 40%. We're going to click takeoff go around switch momentarily. It's going to pass us off to Unicom after, or to departure frequency. Okay, takeoff go around thrust set. V1's 139. Very smooth.
80 knots.
Wind's hardly affecting it. 80 knots cross-checked. V1. Rotate. Positive rate climb, gear up. Slightly loud in the cockpit, quiet. Can't really hear much.
400.
Right, Canada 859, Heathrow direct hello, thanks. Continue on Alpha, hold November Bravo 10.
Slightly steep on the departure, we need to pitch down 15 degrees. 10 degrees now. Retract the flaps to 1.
To take 17, speed 180 knots, descent altitude 3,000 feet.
180, 3000, speed 817.
To the 256, speed 180. Sorry, to the 256, speed
Flaps
180
0.
Speed 4,000 feet.
So we have to do the autopilot on early, just because it's busy, and we can manage the ATC as well.
0 degrees, when established, localizer 09 left, descent glide.
5070, when established, stay with the glide, speed bird 817.
Emirates 11, ready flight level 180.
Emirates 11, Heathrow direct hello, thanks, descend, flight level 90.
Level 90, speed, Emirates 11.
Okay, landing lights off. Okay. Ignition to off.
To the 256 left turn, 180 degrees.
180 degrees, 256.
Yep, altimeter to transition altitude was 7,000 feet.
Ryanair 027, report your current passing altitude.
4,600, Ryanair 027.
Ryanair 027, thank you, climb flight level 180.
Climbing 180, Ryanair 027. Okay, cleared up to 180, so 18,000 feet.
300, runway 09 right, clear takeoff, surface within 080 degrees, 1 knots.
Clear takeoff from 180 and right, speed about 30.
There must
256 left, turn
be no ATC to handle us, so ground's doing quite a good job of handling all the traffic.
7817, speed 160 knots or greater to 40 me.
And of course transponder to on.
Anchor another 859 behind them, parting British Airways 321 via November Bravo 10, line up 09 right behind.
Roger, and line behind the departure there about 321, near Canada 85 very much.
Emirates 11, leave Biggin, heading 275.
275, Emirates 11.
Just confirm that after the waypoint Biggin, Bravo India Golf.
After Biggin, we'll go 275.
Turn that radio down slightly. It's quite loud. Really cool. So that's the after takeoff checklist. We're already on autopilot pretty early. We aren't climbing for some reason. We've leveled off at 6,000 feet. We should be going up to 18,000.
Afternoon, Scandinavia 533 is sending out of flight level 120 for flight level 70.
Standard pressure set.
2 hotel.
Scandinavian 533 Heathrow direct line, thank you, descend flight level 80, leave Lambourne, heading 260 degrees.
Descend flight level 80, leave Lambourne, heading 260 degrees, Scandinavia 533.
Sunlight Charlie Heathrow direct line, thank you, continue straight ahead, hold November Bravo 10.
November Bravo 10, Sunlight Charlie.
Take another 859, runway 09 right, clear the takeoff, surface wind 080 degrees.
Director's doing a very good job. I'm keeping it quiet, just listening to his performance. I just realised that is the director, by the way, not the ground control.
7817, 09 left, clear to land, surface
Let's just
wind
double check the
080
frequencies.
degrees, 1
So nothing's coming up as available.
09 left, speed delay 17.
We've got approach.
256, speed 160 knots to 40 me.
I'll stay on this frequency for now. It might pass us off later on. 119.730. So we're climbing now through 10,000 feet
What your passing altitude?
to 180.
To the 300.
Teammate clear is up to 2,000, 23,000. Lovely day.
027, nothing further, I'm afraid, monitor Unicom 122.8.
I believe that may have been for us. Let's just wait.
027, nothing further, monitor Unicom 122.8.
Monitoring Unicom 122.8, Ryanair 027, goodbye. So we've been handing off the Unicom. It's kind of like the dreaded frequency, I think, on Vatsim, or even for any pilot, to be honest. To monitor Unicom must be a pretty mundane thing. So let's go ahead and just continue up to 23,000 feet, which is our flight plan altitude. Now, vertical navigation should have taken us. I don't think I set the cruise, so I have set the cruising altitude to 23,000 feet. If we choose vertical navigation again, it may not do it. So let's try it again. Let's see if it. So it's pitching down. Let's see if it'll go up to. Still climbing, so that's kind of a good thing. Although the FMC down here is saying 6 feet. Sorry, 6,000 feet. Very, very short flight as well. We're not going to have ATC, obviously we're on Unicom, so I could take a quick break. It's a very short flight. So you feel free to walk around the cabin. We are actually safe altitude now, and the weather's pretty clear. I'm just going to grab a drink. Be right back. Okay, the captain has returned to the cockpit, and I can probably have a look at chat as well on YouTube. I had a quick look before. There's only 1 or 2 messages so far. I hope everyone has a good weekend as well. I am going to do a stream. I was planning on doing this long stream today, and then having a quick break over the weekend, but I actually then changed my mind and decided I'm going to do a flight on Sunday. I'm going to be doing something in the Baron again, in the rural or even mountainous terrain of France. So I'm looking forward to that. Makes a big change from the 737, of course, and it's been a while since I've flown on Vatsim. I haven't mentioned it. I haven't flown on Vatsim for, you know, a good week. So long enough to get back into it, I think. Definitely want to do more streaming on it, and definitely want to do more flights like this. You can see there we're at 20,000 feet. We got the top of climb, so we're almost at it. We reached it just in time. The weather's looking very clear. There's nothing appearing on the map whatsoever. Graphically looking very good as well. Okay, so there's the top of descent, just after the Kilo Oscar Kilo, Maddox Kilo Oscar Kilo, BR 201. So top of descent, deceleration point. So if there's no exit, Brussels, Belgium, we'll have to announce on the Unicom. I will monitor the Vatsim network as well, just to make sure there is no one there. So EBBR is the destination. We have an ATIS, we have a ground control, so it's looking kind of promising. We just don't have approach or tower. Can tune those frequencies in the secondary radios right now if I wanted to. So go down to the radio, write them down first. Always good to have a notebook when you're on Vatsim, or even just practicing. At least you have a notebook and a pen. You can write down the frequencies, you can write down text instructions and clearances. Very, very handy. So you want to write the frequency ground for the ground, down for the ground, so this is 118055, and then the ATIS is 132 decimal 480. I'm going to have a quick listen in now, just because we're on a short flight, so we won't have much time at the end. See what it tells us to do. In fact, let's go ahead and stick that on the second radio, just so we're not missing anything on Unicom that we need. Of course, ground.
National Information Tango.
118.
1650 expect procedural board approach runway 07 left for arrivals, clear and dry runway 07 right for departures.
Okay, so
level 55, wind 060 degrees 8 knots. Cab OK. Temperature 21. Dew point 3 QNH 1016. Nose 8 confirmed information Tango. On first contact.
okay, so he's confirmed we are in fact departing, arriving at runway 07 left, as we've got programmed into the FMC there for the Kilo Oscar Kilo 8 Alpha arrival. Although I believe on the, let me just double check what we've got, and I think it was wrong on here because it didn't have updated information or something. Let's go on arrival. Yeah, so we selected that. So this was the 7 Alpha because it's not being... That's interesting. They did have the Det 1 Juliet departure, but not the Kilo Oscar Kilo 8 Alpha. Still the same thing. It's just that the information from SimBrief is slightly more up to date. That's the only difference. Of course, we'll monitor the legs there. 23,000 till near the top of descent.
Can we go ahead and start service?
And the good thing about the Vatsim network, you can see the online aircraft at the same time. So these aircraft here are online planes, and they show up in the game as well. Doesn't seem to affect performance when I'm on it either. It makes no difference. We were at a big airport then with a lot of planes, as you can see. We really did a good job to park right next to the runway. I'm gonna have to remember that. Just keep parking the aircraft right near it, so you don't have to taxi too far. It also helps to park on time. So at the moment we're just exiting the UK over the southeast. We'll be arriving over to the Netherlands, and then of course Brussels. So enjoy it. I'm gonna leave you in silence and peace for the remainder of the flight until we arrive. There is a lot of buttons and screens on it. I love it. This is one of the main things I love it about this plane. There's so many switches. So a lot of the modern planes don't really have this. They still have switches, of course, but they don't have as many as this, especially the smaller civil aviation aircraft. In terms of documentation, I mean, from my personal experience, I remember how to do it. You know, from other flight simulators, I learned how to do it on Microsoft Flight Simulator X, and then of course many years later I got this game, X-Plane 12, and not long ago actually I bought it. I would say it's not it's not that much, it's not difficult to learn even though it's a big plane. So in terms of documentation, yes, there's a lot of documentation, but you can learn it without reading it. You know, you can understand it without reading it. If you're just doing it for fun on the flight sim, there's no reason to get technical, and you don't need to know about, you know, you don't need to know the entirety of the system of the air conditioning or fuel or even the pneumatics and the hydraulics. You just need to know how to turn and function the aircraft, because it's not the pilot's job to really worry about the other stuff.
Russell's ground, hello, Alpine 5, Golf Kilo, Tango. Clearance to Brighton, please, and the enter temperature is 23 degrees on entry.
Alpine 5-1 Golf Kilo, Brussels ground, thanks, information Tango correct. Cleared roam by the Rousey Tree Vector departure, runway 07 right. Climb initially flight level 60, squawk 7124.
Okay, cleared room, Rousey Tree Vector departure, climb briefly flight level 6 there.
Okay, just adjusting the radios there, so I don't have to listen to Brussels ground when I'm not even there yet. We can adjust it down here on the volume, of course. So I'm connected to mine, and if I want to switch, I can just switch it to number 2 if I want to switch to this one, and communicate with ground, of course. We will put that in. We've got the we've got another frequency at the moment, which we'll be needing when we arrive, and then ground will be secondary to that. Okay, we're already reaching the deceleration point and the top of descent. Top of descent approaching, so what we're going to do is we're going to change it to flight level 07. So when we get to the top of descent, it's just going to descend all the way down 7,000 feet. Hopefully by then the speed will slow down. So it's saying deceleration point. It usually doesn't do the slow the speed down automatically. Let's stick the seatbelt signs on. I'm gonna stick the. I'll do the pre-landed checklist when we get a bit closer. So by Kilo Oscar Kilo, we need to hit 22,600. BR2R1, so there's our descent. Is 11,000 and then 7,000 and then 2,000 for the ILS approach into Brussels. Okay, it's a little bit hit and miss. Did click descend, clicked change it to 7,000, wait for it to change on its own, it's not going down, so we'll go ahead and click altitude invert. Quite busy at Brussels. Looking very, is that Brussels? Yeah. Kind of busy. So our runway 07 left. We'll probably taxi here, because we're going to be taking off from there to Innsbruck after. There'll be a break, of course, depending on whether we crash. If we crash, we'll have to send the aircraft for maintenance. We'll have to scrap the aircraft, possibly. Could do with checking the ILS frequencies. 07 left. Okay, there isn't one for 07 left, but that was the arrival runway, I believe. That's a bit of a pain, isn't it? So we don't have an ILS arrival. This is a hand flown, is it?
650, expect procedural board approach runway
runway 07 left for arrivals clear and dry runway 07 right for departures. Transition level 55, wind 060 degrees 8 knots, cab OK, temperature T1, dew point 3 QNH 1016, northeast confirmed information Tango. On first contact.
Yep. So it's still not changed. We're landing on a non-ILS runway. That's going to make a difference. So that's a hand-flown approach. Hand-flown approach into Brussels. Very good. And we have got transition altitude 5,500 feet. 1016 on the QNH. It's looking very good though. If we can get this down without any issues. We've gone through a lot of fuel in this very short flight. Information Tango, I believe it was. We may need that when we land. Unlikely though. We just request parking to gate, or maybe not even a park into a gate. We'll just go straight to a stand. We're going to have to unload passengers and probably cargo, and then we're going to have to reload passengers and cargo for the next flight. Further deceleration points. We're actually quite close to the airport. I think we're going to make this 7,000 feet in time. Hopefully slow down to about 250, so I'm going to start to prepare. So stick auto brakes onto 2. I didn't set the course on takeoff to 09, but we'll set it now to 07. I'm going to put the landing lights on early. Leave the ignition on off until we get closer. You see it's slowing down to 262 there. On the speed brake. For this box, and you may be able to see that, I hope you can see that, is the box for the ATC Unicom frequency. It's interesting you could see that box, but you can't see the box for the Vatsim. I'll have to see if I can change that and have it on screen, but there's no need to, really. It just takes up more space. We're very close now. We're not descending quickly enough. We should be at 7,012 nautical miles. Wondering if we should give a call out on the Unicom or not. maybe it's worth waiting until we're on the approach, because so far we haven't counted any other traffic in the area, and there's no one on tower or even the approach for Brussels Airport. It's looking clear. I can't see anyone there who might be on the approach. This guy down here has gone past. There's no planes there that look like they're landing. And they've got 2 aircraft parked at the airport, so I think this is going to be a straight into runway 07 left. We're doing very well. Pray that the landing is good enough on this occasion. Let's go and do a checklist. So approach, check. Passenger size are on. Altimeter is 5,500 feet. We will change it to 1016. Do that on both sides. Good habit to have as well is change it on both sides, especially when you're doing the ILS approaches. Update RMP we've done. So we've not got an ILS. What? I'm still a bit confused about the approach. So it's not one that I've flown before. A VDM. I'm assuming that means vectors. I'm assuming that's vectors by the ATC, but of course we don't have it. Right, slightly high up now at 11,000 feet. Could introduce some flaps just to bring that speed down. I'm going to tune the ground into my secondary frequency. 118055. Ready for when we touch down, we can request. Brussels traffic, this is Ryanair 027, descended through 10,000 feet for final 07 left. Just a courtesy call out on the Unicom. A lot of people type in the chat. You rarely hear pilots on the Unicom. I do use it myself. It's very useful to give other people information, especially if they can't read the box for whatever reason. They might have turned it off. Okay, I'm going to turn the microphone off for the landing.
Thousand to go.
line 7 Golf Zulu, push back road face east.
Okay, go pressing east. Goodbye.
Okay, just coming into land, I had a bit of a problem there. The plane was a bit all over. I think we might have to call this or go around and then just go around and try and attempt to land again. Quite high up, way over what we should be. Way high up, so I thought the approach might have been pretty good, but that descent was going very, very slowly. This ended up putting us too high. Let's try and do this in time. I'm sure there are pilots that do this. On the flight sim, that is. Let's put speed brakes max. So we're actually a little bit high, but we'll get down. We'll get down in time.
Alpine 51 Golf Kilo, taxi holding point Charlie 6, runway 07 right, higher inners, Mike in the inners, QNH 1016.
Runway 07 right, via inners and Mike and the inners, QNH 1016, Alpine 51 Golf Kilo.
10.
A bit late on the touchdown, but we did it. A little bit high, a little bit late, but the landing was actually pretty good in the end. Happy with that. Maximum brakes on, of course.
80 knots.
Go ahead and taxi off and then prepare for the call. We're having a little break in Belgium, of course. Make sure the reverse thrusters are disengaged. A taxi here. I think we can hold here. We didn't put the ignition switches continuous. I was a bit distracted there on the end of the flight. We can turn the strobes off. Usually if you advance the throttles, it will get rid of the speed brake for you. We did have a brake. We got a traffic alert, so we could turn it to we can actually put our thing on to standby, well, 8C on or whatever it is. We don't need it on altitude. We'll clear the runway. I'm going to go ahead and get the call. Make sure we're tuned into the correct frequency. Brussels ground, good evening. This is Ryanair 027. Just clear of runway 07 left. Request parking to taxi to parking.
Ryanair 027 Brussels ground hello. Just to let you know, you are in front of the holding point, so you need to be fully over that and then you're clear of the runway, but that's fine. Taxi stand 230 right, higher inner 5, Mike in the inners.
Okay, struggling to hear him then, he was a bit fast. I think he said 230, no, November. I don't know what he said. He said that way too fast. Oh, there it is, Inu 5. Mike, November or something. It's 230.
Ryanair
Ryanair 027, taxi into 230 via Inu 5 Mike.
Just confirm that's Inner 5, Mike and Sierra.
NF5 Mike and Sierra. Okay, so a little bit confusing on the instructions. It's usually happens when I've not got the correct map up on the system. So this one we're on is 5, and then Mike Sierra. Stand 230.
Line 7 Golf Zulu, ready for taxi.
Line 7 Golf Zulu, taxi holding for Charlie 6, runway 07 right, via Romeo 2, Juliet, the Inners, Mike and the Inners, QNH 1016.
So this is ours, Mike and Sierra.
07 right, via Juliet, Inners, Mike, Inners, Line 7 Golf Zulu.
Line 7 Golf Zulu, confirm QNH 1016.
QNH 1016, Line 7 Golf Zulu.
Well, at least it didn't crash, that's a good thing. Thought we were gonna, but we didn't. Plane is still in one piece for the next flight. Hopefully the ground crew don't find any issues with the landing gear. Of course, I can have a break and reset the FMC and reprogram it for Innsbruck, or might call it there, might just end it. I'll have to look at my map again. Not used to Brussels Airport, this is my first time here, so Sierra there on the right, I thought it was. So we take a right turn and hopefully the stand is free, it's 230. I think there's a plane in it, but we'll park up anyway. Or heck, we can do stand 25 if it's clear, or whatever one is empty. I think we're departing from we're going the right way here. 230, so it's occupied by a 3-engine aircraft. We're going to go in, I think, 240. Brussels ground, this is Ryanair 027, stand 230 is occupied, request 240.
Ryanair 027. Ryanair 027, you already passed stand 240, but you can take any stand to your left there, that's fine.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So I was gonna do a we turn that off. We got it on both frequencies. Yeah, I was gonna do taxi into 240 by backtrack, but he's told us we've gone past, so he's kind of give us permission to go anywhere.
Transition level 55, knots. Cab OK. Temperature T1. This point to QNH1016. Nosy confirmed information uniform. On first contact. Brussels National Information Uniform. 1720.
Just about parked up. Trying to get it a bit more, get closer than that, more precise.
Transition level 55. Wind 070 degrees 8 knots. Cab OK. Temperature T1.
Go ahead and stick it there. Okay everyone, so thank you for joining me for the first stage of the flight. If you'd like to join me for the second, I'll be returning in some time. I'm going to give you all, I think I'll give you about 20 minutes break, and then I'll come back. So yeah, enjoy. While I'm here, I'll reset the FMC. So I believe there is a way to reset it. It seems to reset itself because it's gone. Let's turn the seatbelt signs off. Want to unload the passengers? Oh, hang on. What's the landing? Approach weak. Landing great. Wow, I did not expect that. Okay, so we need to unload somehow. I think we have to turn the engines off. Let's go ahead and shut down. Turn the APU on as well. So, like I said, the FMC's gone off because the flight plan's complete. That's pretty handy. And I'll load the next one soon. Let me just switch to the APU first. So beacon comes off, passengers unload, in that order. Don't worry, that's the IRS beeping because we're off power at the moment. I've got backup power though, so should be alright for a minute or two. Okay everyone, I'm going to go for a walk for a minute while it's unloading. I'm going to be back in 20 minutes. I'll put some music on in the meantime. Just give me a sec. I think that's about 23 minutes.
On first contact.
quite the dramatic interval. Thank you everybody for waiting. I can jump back in the aircraft now. I've had a short break and I'm feeling refreshed. I've also got my flight plan ready from Brussels Airport to Innsbruck. I heard a few people on the radio. I don't know if you can still hear that or not. I enjoy that music. Makes a difference. Makes a change to the usual garbage we get. I'll leave it on. I'll leave it on until it ends. I'll turn it down though. So yeah, obviously parked here at 238 on the stand. So it's information Alpha 238. Looking really nice in the evening sun, and I actually thought we were going to be flying at sunset. We've flown, so I said evening flight. This is an afternoon going into evening flight, so we might even make it before dark. It's fairly light outside. As you can see, the sun is setting though. There it goes in the background. Check the aircraft. So I've checked the fuel, we've got all the flight plan programmed in. Can turn the music off now actually. Very good though, that's Ninth Symphony Finale by Beethoven, of course. And you can get that on YouTube Music for free. Copyright free. Okay, we're back in. The ATIS seems to be just non-stop. Let's try and tune both to ground and turn the sound of number 2 down to 0. Awesome. So since we had a squawk code before, that doesn't mean it's going to apply to us now. We can also stick that in standby. We don't need it just yet. We don't need the same squawk code. It'll probably change. You see we've got nothing down here. So we're going to have to do the refueling and the reloading of passengers. Believe it or not, 184 passengers survived that flight and the landing was great. Just to confirm, if you didn't see it, we had 4-star great landing, so very good. I usually get 3 to 4 stars or above. Okay, so we'll go back onto airside services. So this flight doesn't require 184 passengers. There's only 165 going to Innsbruck. So this is interesting, and it's also going to be interesting to see, since the jetway is already connected from disembarking the previous passengers. Be interesting to see if it stays like that whilst the new ones are boarding as well. So cargo is 7,952. So we've got more cargo somehow. Let me double check the flight plan. That doesn't quite make sense. Less passengers but more cargo. Oh, apparently we have got more. And we got a considerable more amount of fuel as well. So 7,952 on cargo. Fuel is being programmed as 6,723. Let's just turn that down a little bit. Okay, so let's activate that. Let's get everything. So it's disconnected the jetway. Ah, come on, come on, whoever knows how to fix that, get it fixed. Okay, let's check the doors. We want, I think passenger signs can come on pretty much already. They're already. Let's turn it off and on and see what happens. We might have to do a bit of cleaning first. We'll extend the stairs. And hopefully they're loading up. Refueling. Okay, so first step's going to be started. In the meantime, we can get programmed the FMC again. Now, since I've learned how to download it, that's going to save me a lot of time during this flight, as it has already done. And in future flights, highly recommend doing it. So all you have to do, click download the file from SimBrief, and it'll give you the option for Explain 12. Click that. Don't click the Zibo mod, just click Explain 12, and then it'll be in the FMS plans file folder in Explain 12 output and then you can simply load it to the FMC that way. So some of the systems have gone off. We don't need those on the one with parts. We should really be turn the APU bleed on as well. Packs could have been off, but I'll leave them on. Let's go ahead and turn them off for the engine start. P2 heat could have come off. We didn't really do the shutdown. We didn't do the taxiing. Basically, we didn't do the checklist for this position there of the aircraft. I don't know what we're quite in. We're in limbo at the moment, so half into a flight. Okay, cheers. Let's get that door shut. Security issue, but if it's open. So we did standard checks. As you see, the layover in Belgium, Brussels is actually really good, I think. It's nice to have a layover. I definitely wanted to do one of these sort of flights on the 737 because it's got a longer distance. We could have turned fuel pumps off as well. We'll leave them on though. Yeah, we'll leave them on. And it's given us 33,000 as the cruise. I believe the filed plan is less, 31,000. And of course we got our pressure sets to... Now I don't know what the altitude of Innsbruck is. I know it's quite high up. Apparently one of the most challenging approaches in the world. I have flown it before, successfully in a variety of planes, including the 737. Right, let's go ahead and get out. I think we can do our call while they're loading. Make sure we got all the frequencies. I believe Brussels only has ground at the moment, so we can't see anyone on centre. We got tower. 118.605. Ground, of course, we're already tuned. We don't have delivery, what we do have ATIS. Okay, passengers are coming on board. And fuel, passengers and cargo, so it's all loading up. Still got our navigation lights, that just tells the crews of course we're working on the aircraft. Verify position. Gate 238. Routes. Now, I've got to remember how we did this. I think it was on flight plan request. So I went, I think it was navigation data, flight plans. So it's not downloaded. Explain 12. So I have downloaded it, but it's not appearing in the list for some reason. Give me one sec, I need to move the file from downloads, that would help, to the actual correct folder. So like I say, explain 12 folder, output, and then FMS plans, simply copy and paste it into there. Okay, let's find it, find it. And it's appeared there. We go back to routes. Company route. And that's loaded it in. That's given us the correct flight plan. So it's all there. It's everything that was on SimBrief. It's really handy to have that feature for importing it. Just double check with it is the correct one with SOPO 3 Victor departure. Made one Bravo arrival. Departing runway 07 right. Check for any brakes. Check the departure. So you have to select it. Apologies for the quiet, just reading through some stuff. So I landed on runway 8. It doesn't give it again. It's not a standard. It's not an ILS. I don't think. So there's nothing there about ILS. Well, we want the made one Bravo. Select that. Let's just select the top one. I think it's looking clear. Trying to find the end of the flight plan. Okay, I think that's all. We can program our cruising altitude. 31,000 feet. And then we can do our initialization. After we can do our initialization and wait. I'll give them a call now, see if we can get through and get our flight plan. I believe it's still information alpha. Judging by the airport, I'm quite busy. From 09 or 07 right. So not a bad taxi. I think you send us down I8, so that'll be in 8, in 9, possibly. It's a bit of a pain when you have to memorize it all, and then Zulu. So yeah, I8, I9, I10, and then Zulu. I'm tune the tower now. Hope to God you can all hear me as well, and that this sound is still working and the plane's still audible. If not, let me know. Okay, I won't put it on takeoff, put it on standby. And make sure we got the tower on the secondary frequency as well. So it's 118 frequency 605. That's for takeoff. We don't have a clearance one yet. So it's all ground. Let's request. Okay, passengers are loaded. That's convenient time.
holding point Charlie 6 for runway 07 right via Romeo 4 and Inner 8, Transavia 92 kilo.
Transavia 92 kilo, QNH 1016.
And the QNH 1016, Transavia 92 kilo.
Brussels ground, good evening, this is Ryanair 027 with information Alpha. We're parked at stand 248, aircraft type is Boeing 738, ready to copy I-5 to Innsbruck.
Ryanair 027, I have no flight plan departing from Brussels for you.
Okay, so they've not got the flight plan, that's a bit of a pain. I did file it on the online system. That's strange, very strange. I'll copy and do it again. It is in the Vatsim network, apparently. Process that. Maybe I didn't click submit. Oh, fuel time. Didn't enter the fuel time. I think estimated departure is meant to be now, so we can stick 2 hours fuel, say, let's save 2 hours because that accounts for a contingency fuel in alternate airport, of course. Flight plan filed, let's go ahead and do that again. Ryanair 027, Brussels ground, confirm received flight plan.
Ryanair 027, affirm I have received your flight plan to Innsbruck. With that information Alpha is correct, and you are clear to Innsbruck via the Zibo 3 Victor departure out of runway 07 right. Initial climb is flight level 60 and squawk 1000.
Okay, a lot of information there. Ryanair 027 is cleared to Innsbruck by the Zibo 3 Victor departure. Climb to 6,000 feet and squawk 1000, Ryanair 027.
Ryanair 027, negative, initial climb is flight level 60.
Roger that, flight level 60, Ryanair 027. I hope that's...
Ryanair 027, read back correct, start approved, and report ready for pushback.
Report ready for pushback, Ryanair 027. Okay, so... I mean, I did read back 6,000 feet to him, he probably didn't hear me, I'm speaking slightly quietly. Need to speak a bit louder. So, 1000 on the squawk code, that's fairly easy to do. He's given us permission to push back as well. Report ready for pushback. So, let's go ahead and turn everything on. Make sure we got the right departure. Now, he did say Zibo 3 Victor, that's correct. Let's do all this. So we got, I think, 1.2 tons of reserves. Cost index is 44, so slightly more on this flight. Execute. Take off. Flaps. Can't put the center of gravity in. What is going on? Performance. So zero fuel weight is actually quite close. So saying 63.2, that's close to what we had on the sim brief. Takeoff weight, plan fuel, we didn't put plan fuel in, so 6.7 is the plan fuel. Strange, we don't really have much room for error. Nothing coming up on the centre of gravity. Yeah, so the readback was correct, so we're cleared there. The information has gone into the computer. Just trying to do the M1 limit. Not working though on the centre of gravity. So it's saying zero fuel weight, 18.5 on that. On landing weight, ground weight, centre of gravity 20 to 20.3. See if we can enter it manually.
Transavia 902 Kilo, contact Brussels Tower on, well,
Oh, so we've entered it manually. That's pretty good. Trim it to 575.
8.605 for Transavia 902 Kilo. Thanks for the ATC. Bye bye.
Okay, 140, 142, 151 for takeoff. So 140. Initial V1. So the flight directors are already on. The lateral navigation, vertical navigation's on them. Alarm vertical navigation, we're on the runway. You said go up to 660, 6,000 feet. That must be the initial departure height. If you check the lags. So yeah, X-Plane could do with updating its air-rack data as well. Alright, back on. I think we're ready to... Did you say push back and call back through or not? Or did you say just push back and then call ready to taxi? Oh well, we'll call him anyway. We'll call again. Should do it in order, I think. Everything's on there, is working. The panel overhead's working, I don't see any warnings coming up. Jetted takeoff, brakes, and we can set 5 degrees of flaps after we start the engines. Plan our pushback. So ground surfaces, that's a pushback. Double check because I messed up at Heathrow Airport because I thought there was no exit on the taxiway, so we ended up going. Yeah, we ended up going through that little shortcut in the end. So there's no shortcuts there. There's no exits that I cannot see. So we're told to push out and face in that direction.
Ground to cockpit, bladder knowledge, call me through the menu when you are ready. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Ryanair 027, ready for push and start.
Ryanair 027, pushback approved, facing east.
Face east, Ryanair 027. Okay, so we're facing east as expected. We're waiting for the pushback truck to connect. I don't want to like leave it.
All doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Mercy buckle. So I don't want to leave it and not call him if I have to call him. I think it's always better to be on the safe side if you're on the Vatsim or if you're online. Always make the call if you're unsure about it. Try and make sure you get it right as well. Not like me, I can't remember half the taxiways. So we predicted we're going down according to the X-Plane map, the I8, I9, and I10 to Zulu. He's probably going to give us the full length. Or maybe send us down Charlie 6 or Charlie 5 even. So let's make a note now. If you have a notebook and you're on and you want to obviously follow it, write down what you think it may be and then write down what it actually is. So that would be the in 8. You can put a slash for 9, a slash for 10 as well. So notes will always come in handy. I've got tons of notes in front of me on my notebook. We're ready to go then. So let's do a pushback. Brakes off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Bit bumpy there, blimey.
Cabin is secured.
Very bumpy. Let's get the engine number 1 started. Fuel pumps have been on this entire time. Okay, so a good spool up there on the first engine. Already at 16, 17% N1, N2. Introduction of fuel. Of course, if you want to be super impatient, you can start number 2 as well, but it's going to take a long time to do it. We are the last plane departing from Brussels Airport this evening. Okay, so number 1's on, so we can switch number 2 on. Make sure that beacon light is on. I made that mistake before. Once the engines have started, you can switch the packs on and you can switch the APU bleed air off. But like I said last time at London, don't make the mistake of leaving the APU on generator. Make sure you switch it to the engine before you turn it off. Okay, so we're going to introduce fuel. Slightly late. You'll notice if you introduce it late, it's going to slow down on the spool up, but the spooling up is happening. This is the internal temperature, the internal pressure, and of course the internal turbine speed as well. The outside fan that you see, the N1, is this thing on the outside. You can't actually see the engine from the outside, so yeah, very cool. Let's go ahead and switch the engine generator on. Packs on. Do that whilst the APU bleed air is on, at least then it's not going to cause such a significant drop. Thank you, pushback. It's disconnecting. Okay, he's doing it automatically. Yeah, switch the packs on while the APU bleeds on, make the most of it. Switch the APU bleed air off, and then switch the APU off as well. Okay, taxi lights can come on. Now let's see if my prediction was right. So we're taxiing from 238, in 8, 9 and 10. And then Zulu, I'm guessing. Or Charlie 5, so place your bets now.
Disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time on have safe flight.
Bonsoir, madam, monsieur. Bonsoir. Okay. Back to the menu. Ryanair 027, ready for taxi.
Ryanair 027, taxi only point Charlie 6 for 907 right via Sierra and the Inners, GNH 1016.
What's your Charlie 6, the Inners, Charlie 5, QNH 1016, Ryanair 027. Okay, I think I said that correctly. The Charlie 6, the way it ends. Oh dear. Let's go. Okay, flaps 5. Always very nervous taxiing when I don't understand the taxiway names. I suppose I need to drive to and fly to Brussels a lot more to get used to it. Flaps are deploying there. Symmetrical deployment, so kind of close. He said Charlie 6, not Charlie 5. I was correct the first time, so this is where we're going down here. It's Charlie 6.
Information, Alpha Gate 215 requesting Alpha clearance to Edinburgh as filed.
508, information Bravo is now current. You are clear to Edinburgh via the Dina 3 Victor departure and runway 07 right. Initial climb at flight level 60 and clock 7101.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Ryanair 027's flight from Belgium, Brussels to Innsbruck, Austria. Very fantastic flight this evening with us. Refreshments will be available en route. For now, just sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Flight 508, negative, squawk 7101.
Squawk 7101, Beeline 508.
Greenlight 508, we are correct. Start approved. And report ready for pushback.
Here we are on the inner, very nice tarmac, smooth, fresh tarmac, like the look of it. I don't know if you're into the airport layouts, but some of them have much better taxiways than others. Whenever I see this kind of tarmac at an airport, I always assume they've got a lot of money, so maybe worth visiting Brussels. Let's stick our turnout lights on. Let's prepare for takeoff. So we cross-check our flap setting is 5. We check our V speed is 140. Yeah, so V1, 140, 151 for V2. Straight up to 6,000 feet. And then hopefully cleared up the flight level 310 for the main duration of the flight. I did say merci beaucoup team finders, and merci beaucoup. I hope I'm saying it right. The S I did that is simply because I heard some people speaking some French earlier on the radio. I know they speak a bit of French in Belgium. Should really learn their language rather than speaking to them in French. Okay, we go ahead and keep taxiing down. Straight down to Charlie 6. Slight turn there and then Charlie 6. This would be a holding point in a 9. You'd hold there if they told you to. Hold it in a 9. A lot of holding points, so it's probably a busy airport. I mean, obviously it's Brussels, isn't it? It's going to be packed. Let's just double check. We can follow the signs now. So we follow in to the right, Charlie 6. So it sort of dives off to the left and right here. Nice split. There we go.
Ryanair 027, contact Brussels Tower on 118.605. Have a nice flight, bye bye.
118.605, Ryanair 027, goodbye. Okay, I think I did the readback correct. I can always check Vatsim if you're unsure. I did say Charlie 6. I'm going to go ahead and taxi 2 there, but first I'm going to put the radio frequency in. Let's double check if I'm right on the callback. Yep, I've got it written down in front of me. It's 118.605. Let's go ahead and tune that in. Don't have to call them just yet because we're still taxiing. Let's go ahead and call them anyway. Ryanair 027, taxiing down in 10 to Charlie 6, runway 07 right.
Ryanair 027 Brussels Tower, good evening. Wind 060 degrees, 4 knots, runway 07 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 07 right, cleared for takeoff, Ryanair 027. Okay, so we've been cleared for takeoff. We can pretty much go straight into the runway, I guess. Down C6. Let's speed up a bit. Let's stick our lights on. Let's stick our landing lights on now. We stick our strobes on. We're just taxiing straight into the runway via 6. Turn the taxi lights off. So continuous ignition. Didn't do that at Heathrow Airport. Check to the right because we're into an active runway. Therefore we want to make sure it's clear. So clear right, clear left. We want to get a double call out there. So a read back correct from the co-pilot as well. Short takeoff roll. Okay, N1. Takeoff, go around switch. Very short takeoff.
knots.
80 knots. Check. V1. Rotate. Okay, we did it. Just about. Positive rate, climb, gear up. Just about. Took off there. In time. Should have checked the departure. And we should put our transponder onto takeoff. Go around takeoff mode as well. Only a few errors on these flights.
1,000.
On the second quarter now, the second half, my mistake. Okay, for some reason M1. Let's select vertical navigation, that might help. That'll give us the correct speeds. Okay, landing gear neutral. Objective takeoff off.
Ryanair 027, wind 060 degrees. Question, the further ATC available monitor advisory 122.8.
Monitoring the advisory 122.8, Ryanair 027, goodbye. Okay, so I think he was about to clear us for takeoff again. So we'll retract all the flaps. And we'll climb out over Brussels and smooth 15 to 1700 feet a minute. Let's go ahead and activate the autopilot. Landing lights off, ignition off. 120.8. Oh, 122, my mistake. 122.8. It's a shame there's no controllers anymore, but they've done a good job this evening. It's been great to talk to them. You see, there's our taxi routes, there's our takeoff. We only needed a third of the runway. Now we're making our way over to Austria through Germany, of course. Touch on Germany and then through Austria.
1,000 to go.
No doubt there's going to be no ATC at Innsbruck either. Let's turn transponder on full. Put it on flight mode, and since there's no ATC available, we can just go straight up to 31,000 feet. Let's go ahead and straight up. Usually we keep climbing on your sort of flight plan altitude if there's no one available to tell you otherwise, so select VNav again. As you can see, we're meant to climb anyway according to the FMC, so 7,700 and cleared up to 10. Alright, well again, buckle in, it's an evening flight for once. We've got the lights on in the cockpit. Can turn it down a bit for the effect. Thank you to everyone who's joined me this evening. Hope you're having a good time. Yes, that was my understanding as well, Finders. 3 languages. So I believe it's because Belgium has their language. And French and German. So that would be Dutch, French and German. I don't know any Dutch, I know a little bit of French and a small amount of German. Guten Tag, Guten Abend, Bonsoir. Incredible! I can't believe we made it this far. We're doing. I think we're doing fantastic. The Ryanair 737 really performing very well. I know we've had a layover in Brussels, but in general, its performance has been top notch. If you have just joined, we've been doing the entire flight on Vatsim. Feel free to go back to the beginning. I have to say I'm very impressed with my own departure from London Heathrow. Not only did we do the procedures correctly, we did the departure on time. Makes a first. It really does. Okay, I'm going to step away from the cockpit. The plane's pretty much on its own legs at the moment, flying. If there's any issues, then I don't know, just panic, I guess. Any issues, I'll be right back. Just step back in the cockpit. Everything's going pretty good. We're just crossing flight level 180, climbing up to 310. Quite a high cruise altitude. We can set our standard pressure. Just check the chat. We have a message there from Dallas. Dallas, welcome in. Are you using reduced thrust for flights usually? As I see, you don't use it. No, that's right. I don't use reduced thrust. We do have a cost index on this flight. I think it's something like 44. Let me double check. Yeah, so the original flight where we did beginning from London to Brussels had a cost index of about 30, and then the cost index from Brussels to Innsbruck is 44. That would usually impact the settings available, but for the sake of, you know, the fact that it's a simulator, I usually go full on with the thrust. It is on vertical navigation, so it's pretty much choosing. If I show you now in the FMC, let's set standard pressure. Let's get rid of the joystick index, and then okay, we can't view it on here. We go back, see if we can see performance N1 limit. So the maximum, they're the maximum N1 limits for the aircraft. I've chosen the first option. It gives you the most amount of power. There's no reason for me not to use it. I'm not under any cost or operating restraints. Of course, if you are, by your airline, follow their real procedures. So climb. So it's given as a climb setting there for us, 98% N1, and that'll reduce to cruise when we get up to flight level 310. Go ahead and stick the passenger seatbelt sign. Fasten your belt signs off, also known as the passenger seatbelt signs. I call them fasten belt signs because that's what it says on there. Fasten belt. So we turn that off. People are free to move out the cabin. We're still going up to 31,000. You can see it's going dark outside now. We're definitely going to... I mean, Innsbruck is already challenging, so to arrive at night... Oof, this could be an air crash investigation. Enjoy. Okay, it's a good thing I didn't go away from the cockpit. We've just been beamed there by radio control, so they're telling me to contact them. I'm assuming that's because we're passing this little curve in the pink arc or magenta arc. We're going past Frankfurt International Airport. If you watch my previous streams, I have actually flown from Frankfurt. We did Frankfurt Airport. Maybe it wasn't there. Can't remember. I've definitely flown from Frankfurt in this aircraft though. And then we'll sort of be cycling back past Munich, in between Munich and Zurich, to Austria. Let's go ahead and contact them before we get told off. So he's saying, contact EDUU, I'm not sure what that is, but 122.785.
Good evening. Vision 404, landing out of 380 over 39.
Traffic there at 11 o'clock.
Hello, is that 404? You are.
Possibly at the airport. Ryanair 027 is with you 310.
Ryanair 027, hello, identified direct to Vatsim.
I don't have a clue what he just said. I think he just said fly to Vatsim, direct to Vatsim.
From the Ryanair 2 kilo, click mass, connect rein, radar 120, 930 roger.
120.930 for Transavia 92 kilo.
Hang on, I'm getting messages coming left, right and centre here. It was Vatsim. Fly direct. So we're going to have to change the FMC, so let's go down to legs, not eggs. Where is Vatsim? It's very strange. Oh man, it's all the way down there, so let's go ahead and do that. Ryanair 027, Roger, is flying direct to Vatsim. Okay, that's good. Now we can avoid Frankfurt or whatever airspace that was. I'm assuming it was Frankfurt. That's fantastic. So a big thumbs up to the controller there at EDUU. I'll have to find out the airport. He's an area controller. Yeah, we got to figure out with the aircraft as well. Ryanair 027, we had a little bit of an issue there with another aircraft in sight. We had to change course. We're going back on course now. Yeah, so we've got a bit of an issue with traffic in the area. I'm a bit cautious. that isn't the real reason, of course, we changed. The autopilot went off, so... But there is aircraft in our immediate vicinity, we're going to have to change to a lower level to avoid them. Yeah, so you want to be outside of that airspace soon. Let's go back up to 310. That's interesting though, that we changed the FMC and the autopilot went off. That's very, very interesting. So we select VNAV now. Is that going to... I'm assuming it's just going to keep going up to 31,000. It should do. So it seems to have stopped. It seems to start descending. Well, we'll click lever change and see what happens. I'll leave that on 40 kilometers, 40 miles. Yeah, flight level 310, so I'm not sure. We changed the flight plan direct. It went off on the VNAV and it's not come back on.
1,000 to go.
There you go, nice serene cockpit. Of course, we can tell people we're level off. Okay, for some reason cruise altitude isn't in there. We did enter it. Or perhaps we didn't. That might be where we're making the mistake, so let's go ahead and enter that. So now if I change it to... Because I'm still learning this aircraft, some of the systems myself, especially on the Zibo mod. So when I select VNAV, it should hold the altitude. Yeah, so it's holding it now and it's doing the correct speed. Okay, issue aborted.
Radar schönen guten Abend. Transavia 535 is with you at flight level 350.
Radar 525, flight radar, hello, Edifant.
Yeah, his sent us down a direct corridor there, past Luxembourg, direct through Zurich and Munich. This approach though is looking very good from a distance. If you're new here and you're enjoying it, consider watching some of the other streams. Consider re-watching this from the beginning. Let me know what your favourite plane is as well, and if you play X-Plane 12.
EC, put you to put the Wi-Fi at flight 240.
Can you go ahead and start service?
Easy flight for J Fox 3 identified, climb flight level 280.
Climb flight 280, easy for J Fox.
Alright, good night, Emirates 1 X-ray flight number 350 to Lapsey.
Emirates 1 X-ray, hello, identified. Wherever C is available, of course, Echo Delta Uniform.
Roger, we'll have a look, thanks, Emirates 1 X-ray.
Thank you. Easy A 480 Fox direct to Elkim Echo Lima Kilo in your mic, climb flight level 330.
Third Elkim climb flight level 330 easy for J Foxtrot.
Perfect.
A lot of ATC are online now in Europe. Absolutely fantastic. Really good to see. A lot more than there was earlier on. If we remember, we started about 5:30 and there was nobody on. It's gone dark now and everybody's come online. People at Charles de Gaulle Airport, there's people at London. More people at London. There's people in Germany. Germany's got tons of ATC. The entire country's covered. Poland's covered.
C480 Foxtrot connect Maastricht 122 ciao.
The Baltics are covered. Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia. Even the Balkans, Romania, Bulgaria. If you go onto vatsimradar.com, it'll show the entirety of the map where there's planes in ATC, and by the look of it, it's the entirety of Europe. We've even got ATC down in Greece. When we arrive though, we won't have any. We're going to be avoiding it. I'm trying to find what ATC we're actually talking to. Very interesting. So if that link works, I just posted it in the chat. It's perfectly safe to use, and you better view who's online on Vatsim network. You can also track this plane, Ryanair 027, on its current journey.
Within 404, connect Ryan 120, decimal 930, ciao.
On the 0930, ciao. With Air 404.
307, connect Ryan 120, 930, ciao.
Okay, that's us. Don't know what we should say in the ATC though. Direct to Innsbruck. So I'm assuming we can just continue. Let me text, let me send a message on ATC for him. Ryanair 027. Okay, so direct.
Eine 027, connect 13, station 120,
130. Sorry, he's giving me instructions here. I'm listening, but his accent is strong. So 130. It's very, very strong. 130. Something. Ah, not doing a good job on the ATC today. This is probably why I don't play the Vatsim too often, to be honest. I think you just said monitor Unicom, which is absolutely fine.
So we are 535, call Ryan 120-930, job.
Ryan radar on 120.930.
Well, let's go straight direct there. We can just follow the plan that's in the route. I mean, that is direct as we can get. We can't fly any more direct, but let's go ahead and monitor Unicom soon. We're out of his airspace. Still trying to figure out what airspace he is. EDUU. Nothing on Vatsim radar like that. Perhaps if you're a German ATC controller, actually, let me know how this works in the area, because I got, of course, Frankfurt Airport. Interesting. And there's actually other planes at Innsbruck Airport now. I say Innsbruck, I think maybe some people pronounce it Innsbruck. Okay, LOWI.
Further to engage at 628, level 313, descending level 300 inbound clears.
Egan 628, Ryanair Boeing 737-800NG.
Checking them.
628, confirm you are flying to Luxembourg.
Another Ryanair flight there. Quite a lot of Ryanairs this evening. What day is it as well? It's Friday. Happy Friday, everyone.
Egan 628, confirm you're flying to Luxembourg.
That's a firm, Agent 628.
We got an aircraft off to our right side.
Which is
What is that?
interesting. Going to just going to Brussels at the moment, which looks pretty weird at this point. Descent, fly level 250 and keep the rate 2000 operator, please.
Sending level 250 with a rate 2000 operator, Agent 628. Yeah, same brief kinda messed up a little bit. Yeah, if you could suggest any other arrival for us, we could take it.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's good. Really understanding ATC today. Understanding ATC in London, Brussels, and of course Germany. It's really great to see the spirit in the community. Yeah, as I was saying, checking the information for Innsbruck. Let me turn my radio down. Hopefully last turned it down. Just checking the information. So 1015's QNH at the final destination. Right, he's contacting us again. 130. Ryanair's. Let me contact him. Yeah, Ryanair 120.930. Okay, call 120.930. Let's just reply. Doing a text reply this time makes a little difference. 930 on the sim. Ryanair 027 is with you, flight level 310, direct to Innsbruck. Flight level 310, Ryanair 027. So yeah, some audio issues there again. I might be speaking too quietly. I have said the rebacks correctly a few times and they haven't heard it, so I'll have to try and adjust my microphone. If there's any sound issues on the stream as well, I am using a new microphone, so let me know what it's like. Currently flying over Germany.
Speedbird 626, contact line 133.755.
In Stuttgart airspace.
Swiss 3 Kilo Hotel, contact correction Wangen 125.2. 125.2 for Swiss 3 Kilo Hotel, thanks, bye bye. Speedbird 626, contact line 133.755. Speedbird 626.
Right, now Emirates 1 X-ray flight level 350 to Lampsey.
Emirates 1 X-ray, hello.
Just flying over Stuttgart, then we'll be flying over south of Germany.
122.785.
12785, November 6 bye-bye.
Under 5 Kilo Alpha frequency.
So as you can see on the map, we have a small amount of airspace there. I don't know if anyone's going to give us clearance to land at in Austria. There's no ATC for it. So you can see we're actually approaching the top of descent, Batoba, and then top of descent down to 13,000, and then deceleration point is a lot closer than I think. So just because we're high in the approach into Brussels, I'm going to descend prior to the top of descent, hopefully, or at least slower. Try and slow down as much as I can without going too slow. Okay, double check what's going on in the instruments as well. We're not double checked them in a while, so turn the brightness up. APU bleed air is good, it's not on. No warnings, everything's looking pretty good, so there's not really much going wrong with the plane. Again, the maintenance, they're doing a good job on it. We've got the radios down here. Can change the sounds, the volume and the sound. Can have the second one muted or on. Of course, we've got our active. These frequencies, the actual directional frequency, which we don't really... I haven't used this in this plane, but you can do. The options there, you can turn it off. We'll be using... there's no ILS. Okay. I was going to say we use the ILS, but we're not using any of this. Category 3 sticker, I did ask on someone else's stream how they got it, and it's in the Zibo mods menu. So if you go into the little computer, customize, and then display, click on placards, and it'll come up. You can put it into wherever you want after that. You can actually change a few things. Customize, display variants. It's even got autoflight. Probably autopilot.
5 Kilo Alpha, Ryan, hello, radar contact cleared, Impact 5 Charlie, arrival, maintain flight level 330.
Maintaining level 330, cleared Impact, second Impact 5 Alpha Bible. Right now, the Condor 5 Kilo Alpha.
No second.
Can you repeat the Impact arrival route?
Impact 5 Charlie, arrival.
Also Impact 5 Charlie, arrival, the Condor 5 Kilo Alpha.
Emirates 1 X-ray, contact mention 133.565.
Munich 133.565, Emirates 1 X-ray, good night.
Condor 5 Kilo Alpha, when ready, descend via start to flight level 250, squawk 1126. Condor 5 Kilo Alpha, squawk 1126.
It's sending us to this waypoint, but then there's no arrival. Doesn't seem to be an airport appearing on the map.
Center, good evening, Dreamjet 201, flight level 225 for 240.
Good evening, Dreamjet 201, correction, radar contact, climb to flight level 300.
Okay, that approach is going to be challenged, a real challenge.
201, thank you.
BCM 1404.
Looking forward to it.
Wizz Air 404, descend to flight level 310, reached by Batuk.
Plenty of people on the radio, Americans, Germans, French, English.
9027, contact mention 132.455.
132.455, Ryanair 027. Okay, he's just passed us off. I'm glad I did the call back quickly. That's a good way to remember it, is do it as quickly as possible. And then of course forget what he gave us on the frequency. Right, let's check the ATC available. He said 134.
5 Kilo Alpha, descend via start to flight level 250.
133.435. Oh my goodness, bad isn't it if you can't remember.
5 Kilo Alpha, Andrea.
Oh dear, so bad, so unprofessional. I can't remember. Oh well, I'm not paying attention to the ATC as much as I should be, but I guess there's other pilots on here doing the same thing, not replying to the ATC. So let's go ahead and just make a random call to the one I think it's going to be. Three 565. Good evening, this is Ryanair 027 with you at flight level 310 at Batu.
Ryanair 027, there you are, you're on the wrong frequency. Contact now München radar 132.455, 132.455, ciao.
Ah, so embarrassing, isn't it? Thank you very much. 132.455, Ryanair 027. Good evening. Okay, so despite having a frequency in my mind, we ended up contacting the wrong one anyway. Oh well, it's not a big deal. If it's a flight sim, if it's a real flight, it could be an issue. Okay, 132.455. Very kind though, very understanding ATC. As you can tell, I'm not a professional pilot. 132455. Let's try it one more time on this one. Ryanair 027, good evening, and I'm with you at flight level 310, direct to Innsbruck.
Ryanair 027, maintain identified. Descent to flight level 150 at 2,500 feet per minute or greater.
Descend down to flight level 150 at 2,500 feet a minute, Ryanair 027. Okay, so he's given us a very specific instruction. That's really good. I enjoy specific instructions, so we'll go ahead and do that exactly what he said. So we'll go vertical speed. We'll do it 2,500 feet a minute. So he must have calculated the rate of descent. The computer is actually coming up as the top of descent pretty much momentarily when we made the call, so perfect timing. And of course speed should match. Let's go ahead and decrease that. So it's not going to pitch for speed, it's going to pitch for vertical speed. Okay, we can put our passenger seatbelt signs on. You can see the cabin's making an announcement. Haven't switched the cabin lights into night light, but let's do it night light and turn all the ones onto medium. Just makes it a bit more relaxing.
1001, turn right heading at 330, descent 4,000 feet.
330, 4,000, Air Force 1001. Winter radar, good day, Wizz Air 404 to about level of flight level.
This is exciting, isn't it? Damn. If I make a fool of myself on this final crash, I won't be able to live with myself. Thank you so much for watching this stream, and you find this as well. I know you're still here. Really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying it as well. I hope you're looking forward to the finale.
Descent to flight level 150 to reach at Rostov.
Descent flight level 150 to reach at Rostov, Wizz Air 404.
Sweeper 961 Lima, climb to flight level 360.
Climb 360, speed 961 Lima.
Mention, good evening, Transavia 535 with you at flight level 310, inbound Batu.
Transavia 535, and here identified, descent to flight level 150 to reach at Rostov.
Descending to flight level 150 to reach at Rostov, Transavia 535.
Turn Air Force 1001, sorry for the late call. Turn now right heading 080, cleared ILS 06.
080, cleared ILS 06, Turn Air Force 1001.
So it's saying on landing data on SimBrief, a QNH 1014. Not a change, not a considerable change. We can pre-program it in. Standard pressure for now, but we'll program it 1014 on either side, both sides. Absolute pitch black. I'd be surprised if we can barely see the runway. Still got a good way to go though, but we're close. We should be at 13,000 Madeb.
German FS 1001, wind 040 degrees 6 knots, runway 06, clear for touch and go. After touch and go, runway track, time to fly low 70.
For touch and go, after touch and go, runway track, flight level 70, German FS 1001.
Bringing that speed down now to prepare for London. So bring it down to 250. Well over 10,000 feet, but we want to make sure we're nice and slow on the descent so we don't overshoot it.
Ryanair 027 leaving my space, monitor advisory, goodbye.
On to the advisory, Ryanair 027, goodbye. Okay, so we're allowed to go off the frequency in preparation for London. So advisory frequency is just 122.8. Always have it programmed into your backup radios if you're going onto Vatsim, and that way you won't have to fiddle with the radios too much. Let's go ahead and just keep descending, I guess. Let's just keep descending to 2,000 feet, or however high we have to be. So it's saying 7,000. I had this feeling we're going to be quite high up on the approach. Of course, the mountains around it is going to be a real challenge. Let's stick all our lights on. Turn off lights and landing lights. We won't put the continuous ignition, but we will use 2 on the auto brake. Okay, the runway is not in sight. When we get to that blue line, we're basically on our own. That's going to be a real challenge to find our way through the dark. All the lights off so we don't get distracted, because it's going to be super difficult to see the runway. Put the landing lights on in the cabin. I don't get nervous, but I'm super nervous. A lot of pressure on this aircraft right now as we go into the pitch black of Innsbruck. No ILS approach either. We're landing 08. If we'd gone, I suppose we could go to 2. We can't really do that. We can't go around to 26 for London. My goodness, cannot see a thing. We've got a little valley there that we can fly through. Still quite a good distance. I'm assuming we're going to come down here and then it's manual through this little valley, which is barely visible. If I do crash, apologise in advance. Yeah, so it's a high up approach, 7,000 feet. And then straight to the runway. Down, 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 down. So he's giving us a call out there, 2,500 feet. Saying 8,300 feet now on the FMC.
1,000 to go.
Let's just go straight down to 7,000. Can see a gap. and also a mountain. I don't know what our distance is to the mountain around us. It's very, very close. If we hit it, then we might get terrain warning. Possibly. On the speed brake. Speed brake deployed then just to keep us on the approach path. When we reach the blue line, it's all manual from that point on. Set pressure to 1014. If you want to check on the X-plane map, you can do. So 10118 on there. We're literally flying through a valley in the mountains, a gap in the mountains. That's how low down we are. Incredible. 5 degrees of flaps. Just maintain 250 for now. 230. In fact, we'll go down to 210 for the approach speed. I can see the runway. This is a challenging approach, my goodness. Thank goodness we can see something though, and we've got lights ahead of us. I can't imagine what a pilot would feel like at night in an actual aircraft. Must be absolutely terrifying. Let's go ahead and stick our ignition to continuous. Landing lights of course on.
Jordan 905 from statics, starting up the engine for runway 3.
Good evening, this is Ryanair 027 calling Innsbruck traffic. I'm on the approach leg for final 08. Okay, just a courtesy call out caused by me. There's no one else here. I do have a co-pilot, but he's very quiet. Just under courtesy call out, let them know we're coming down the approach to final. Very, very challenging approach, I have to say. At this point, even though we got the autopilot on, we could probably disengage it. We're close enough to the disengage point, so you can see there. Once we pass that, in a couple of seconds, we'll be free to turn it off and fly it manually. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Turn that off. We'll keep the auto throttle on. I'm going to reduce it. So landing speed 143, so reduce to 160 for now. Another notch of flaps. And start our slow descent. Yeah, 143 at 40 degrees of flaps. Nice steady turn there through the predefined course. Incredible systems on the aircraft. Incredible view as well. Suspect there's a lot of skiing activities up here. Okay, we're at 15 degrees of flaps. I'm going to enter. If I enter 143, well, we have to slow down quite quickly and quite early, so. Should be at 163, we're about right. So there's two runways, our runway's there. I can see puppy lights, but I can't see an ILS on the system. So we're coming down here to this path quite well at the moment. Another notch of flaps, reduced down to 148. So it's VREF plus 5, so that's our final land speed. Of course, gear can come down. Ryanair 027 Innsbruck traffic, final runway 8. Okay, so we're final now, we have to call it nice and early. I'm finding this very, very tricky. It's a lot different than what I'm used to. All flaps deployed.
Traffic 905 behind the incoming traffic taxi holding on 08 via Alpha.
Okay, so we've got someone holding at 08 Alpha.
2500.
I hope we land on the right runway. I'm assuming there's only one runway. I hope we're low enough down to hit it in time. Yeah, there's a small one there as well. Come on, I hope we can do this nice and smoothly. Trimmed wheels actually done quite well as well. Okay, 1400 feet a minute, quite steep. Still quite high up, maybe a little high up. Let's go and turn the throttle off. Entirely manually for the final approach. Gear down, flaps down, landing lights on, speed brake arms check, landing checklist complete. Okay, the puppy lights aren't giving us any indications. It's hard to judge how quick you are on the final sometimes in the dark.
1000.
Got our airspeed of course, but that's not always accurate. Of course we've got a headwind as well of about 3 knots. Yeah, struggling to see it. Kind of open some puppy lights.
400.
Getting a call out though. We're doing well. Doing well. This is a better approach than Brussels. Okay, there's the puppy lights.
200.
Bit of water there at the end, blimey.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh, bit of a rough touchdown. Water brakes are on 2, of course. That was a good landing. It felt hard, but it was decent in the end. Very smooth touchdown. Of course, we made a safe arrival into Innsbruck Airport. As we saw there on landing, we had an aircraft waiting, holding short. So we'll go ahead and taxi to the end here.
Innsbruck traffic with 404. Turning final runway 08.
We need to clear the runway quick because there's an aircraft on final. Runway 027, still taxiing runway 8. Okay.
Airport traffic 905 on holding point 08, lining up backtracking runway 08 behind the next landing aircraft.
Roger, we see 404 is short final 08.
Okay, I could clear the runway immediately. There's another aircraft landing. We clear the runway quick. He should really be attempting to go around at this point. If there's an aircraft on the runway, we're going to clear it as quickly as possible. Let's go ahead and get out of the way. Runway 027, clear of runway 8 in Innsbruck traffic. Okay, we're clear of the runway, just in time. Panicked there, got a little bit scared we're going to kill everyone on board. Let's just go ahead and park anywhere. There's no traffic, there's no ATC. We're free to go where we like. That's been such a good flight, and I'm so impressed with that landing. I hope you all are as well. That was a very good landing by myself. Not flown that approach before on X-Plane 12, but very good scenery in the area. The airport's fully developed, as you can see there, Flughafen, Innsbruck. Let's park here next to the EasyJet. Gone slightly past it, but not bother. And strobe should be off. Ignition should be off. Awesome. Engine shut down. See if we can see that other aircraft landing. He's just touched down now. Wizz Air. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, well, we made it, ladies and gentlemen. What an evening of just some bad stuff in there, some mistakes. Don't worry about that, it's just because the generators. So the IRS is going off. Let's turn it off. Do the full shutdown. Okay, if you have emergency lights on, that should, or ground power even, or the APU, that should give us lights, but we haven't got it on. So
Innsbruck traffic, Transavia 525, 6 mile final, for runway 08.
Yeah, there's tons of people in Innsbruck. Okay.
404 is clear of 08.
Literally everything off, isolation valve open, electrolytics, hydraulics off. Strobes, LOWI lights. Like I said, on the shutdown, everything's turned off, seatbelt signs off, passenger smoking signs off. We open that, and we open that, and disengage the battery. Standby power on this. Change the MCP if it was on, but we haven't bothered. Of course, passengers are unboarding, unloading. Fantastic. Yeah, congratulations to me, congratulations to Wizz Air behind. Looking for a parking space, no doubt. Absolutely packed at this airport. Yeah, really good flight, everyone. It's been a long one today, but it's been a good send-off for Friday. I did this long one because I won't be streaming next Friday. So I wanted to do it nice and early. Thank you so much for being here, and I know Finest, you've been here. That means a lot as well, and I really hope you have all have a good night. So take care.